Hi guys, my name is Danny Salazar, cinematographer. I've had the opportunity to shoot documentaries across Europe and Asia, and I've got to shoot for some pretty cool brands. The purpose of this series is to inspire others to create, no matter what your budget looks like. Today I'd love to break down the most recent documentary film that I got a chance to work on, called Walls. If you'd like to have more context of what we're talking about, make sure to check out the full film at the link below. So what are we talking about today? We will be talking about the 4 key components that I use in story development. Secondly, the creative process in lighting and in-camera effects for our film. So what makes a good story? For me, it needs to have these 4 key components. A stated theme. This theme was reconciliation. Number 2, a catalyst. Her discovering that her beloved mother had terminal cancer. Number 3, a dark night of the soul, the despair of losing her mother and her marriage all within the same month. And to break into 3, finale, how she found hope and healing in her faith. Now, not every story needs to have a wonderful ending. Some of the best stories are still the ones that are still in process, people that are still learning, still grieving, still discovering. We want to make sure that we pay attention to those types of stories as well, because honestly, that's real life. So the overall look began when we brought in these quasars as our background lights. We were wanting more of a warmer tone, but honestly, when we were going through setup, I switched it on to this daylight preset, and then all of a sudden I heard a whoa. I looked back and I looked at Connor, my fellow filmmaker at Canyon Ridge. He was really liking what he was seeing, so I stopped right there, took a look myself, and it was such a beautiful color contrast between warm and cool that we decided to stick with it. So that was a happy little accident. And the quasars also served us well as our edge lights and hair lights. So something fun and out of the ordinary was when we created our own pro-mist look in camera. So we wanted to create something subtle that would complement the quasars in the back. So for our key, we went with a 2x Gemini with a half-stop diffuser and a 40-degree egg crate, and then another 2x1 Gemini bouncing off a foam core as our supplemental fill light. So when implementing B-roll for this film, we were really trying hard to figure out a location that didn't look so Vegas looking. And if you ever lived here or visited here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of tan tones, it's the desert. You don't really see green anywhere, but luckily we found this location called Floydland Park at Tool Springs, and literally it's an oasis in the desert. So we shot in golden hour, and honestly you can never go wrong shooting golden hour in Las Vegas or in a desert. Seems like those hated tan tones that we don't like just brings in a nice subtle fill for your character. So one of my favorite shots of this film was this ultra slow move where unintentionally the sun lit her eyes, which visually paired perfectly when she was talking about her experience with God, her experience talking to God. Visually, I believe this is the height of the film where we see hope start to come alive in her. Well, hey, I would love to hear your reactions after watching this film, and I'd love to hear how you're telling stories through filmmaking wherever you're at. If you haven't seen the film, make sure to check the link below. And special thanks to my fellow Canyon Ridge filmmaking crew, and a very special thank you to Tamara for sharing her story. Until next time, motivate and inspire others. We'll talk soon.